delighted.
I'm going to sit down and say, why am I doing this challenge?
Yeah, I feel great, I have to say, in every way.
I haven't taken care of my most treasured possession, which is my mind.
Welcome to the 40-Day Health Challenge. We've been blown away by the response on all our social media channels, YouTube and on our website as well. People from all around Ireland have been taking part. And not only that, all around the world too. From the UK to America, Australia and New Zealand and even further afield. And a very big welcome to each and every one of you for wanting to get fit and get healthy and joining us and all of our challengers on the 40-Day Health Challenge. As ever, I'm joined by registered dietitian Sophie, clinical psychologist Dr. Eddie and GP Dr. Sumi. And from my perspective, I can't wait to see how they've all gone on with the first week of all the exercises they've had to do. This is a journey to better health.
40 days to lose a bit of weight, 40 days to get fitter.
And it began on a cold January Monday.
Day one.
Day one of the challenge. I look a bit tired actually.
Phase 1 of the exercise plan runs for the first 10 days. And our goal is to reach the minimum fitness level for lifelong health.
Come on, keep going, work through the pain. Work through the pain.
And there's Sophie's meal plan to follow.
Dinner time.
There's a new main meal to prepare every single day.
Loving the food.
And Dr. Eddie has a daily challenge for our mental well-being.
Eddie Murphy's challenge for today is be committed.
If we focus on the healthy habits, we should get more energy and vitality.
And remember, you can start your 40 days today at 40dayhealthchallenge.ie.
As they say, let's do this.
And hopefully we can get through this 40 days.
Challengers, welcome back into studio. How are you? Well, you're all looking very fresh and very healthy and very young.
Young. Okay.
How are we all?
Yeah.
We survived week 1? We did. We did? Okay, so Caroline, we're going to start with you. Mum of 4, award-winning business owner from West Cork. The longevity of the challenge was something you were worried about, wasn't it? Of seeing through the 40 days and beyond that. How have you found the first week?
I thought I'd go on day 3.
Thank you for being here.
You do realise now, your reel that we posted on day 1 of the 40-Day Health Challenge has done 300,000 views, over 7,000 comments.
Wow.
It's been, you've really struck a chord with people around your reaction to your metabolic age, but also to the fact of getting moving, getting started.
Yeah, and I was horrified at that. I'm still horrified at that, right? But anyway, that was part of the challenge. And for me, I think I said it in my commitment day, committing to start isn't an issue. It's committing to finish that would be my problem, right? So I'm not worried about day 3 now, because it's week 3 now I'm worried about now. But
what was so hard about day 3?
there was nothing in the end. It was up here.
Okay.
So it was in my head, because I suppose, and like I had a friend say to me once, you're just fulfilling your own self-prophecy. And that was it. So it's like I said earlier, when you go looking for something, you find it. And if I told myself, day 3 is going to be really difficult, but it wasn't, because essentially the plan is easy to follow. The food, I think the portions are quite, certainly for breakfast and lunch, they're very filling, right? Yeah. And even dinner, right? And I was amazed. I took out spinach for whatever one of them, and I just grabbed a handful, and then I said, I better weigh it. And it was like, oh, that's way too much. And that would have been my normal thing. So for me, the learning has been in the portion sizes.
So let's have a look, all right? Last week your weight was 95.7 kilos. And today, 95.4 kilos. So, seeing as it was the biggest clip of the week, we are obviously going to look at your metabolic age, because it would be rude not to.
Are you going to be on 60?
No, I'm not.
Okay, 61 was...
We should do a bet.
I think you're going to be 59.
I'd say so easy. Go on.
Colin?
Should be, yeah. I'm going to go 50. I'm going to go 58.
Okay, there's lots of confidence in the room. Right. It was 61. Let's have a look at your metabolic age today.
I'm
4 years younger. 4 years.
That's fair. That's some achievement.
The reason that's shifting, and we go back to it time and time again, is that we're getting a body composition shift and change. By eating better, doing your resistance exercise, doing your cardio, you're changing the composition. You're losing a bit of body fat. You're maintaining your muscle mass. It's brilliant. We're going to have a look at a quick video before we go on to the next point.
Right, morning. This is where I'm at. I am wet. I am hungry. I would love nothing more than to tear into 2 sausages in a roll or a sourdough bread sandwich with butter and ketchup. So cold and cranky, or hangry as they say. Right. However, I haven't. So what I have instead, I've had to go to the shop. That was nothing. I'm just not prepared, and it makes a difference being prepared. This is normally where I'd run into a deli and get something on these kind of occasions, but instead I have got a banana. I have got an Activia yogurt with granola. I know it's not ideal, but I'm going to add some blueberries as well, and I have a coffee. So it's a lesson, so it's not perfect. I can't wait to get home and change out of these clothes, but I have a few more deliveries to do, so that's breakfast for today.
That
Sophie.
day as well. That day, the blueberries went all over the van. And previous to that, I was busting because all this bloody water. I went to the loo. I had never keep my phone in my back pocket.
Oh, you're joking.
Oh,
Oh, goodness.
I was like, I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to kill him.
You were quite calm there after that.
I'm not saying.
Oh my goodness. Angry.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's a beautiful clip. It's a brilliant clip. Honestly, no, I really mean that. I think, like, we've all these choices when we go into the shops and things like that, and the deli's right there, and the easiest thing you can do is just give in to that craving for the sausage rolls or something like that, and you didn't. You were like, right, what can I do that's going to be somewhat healthy?
Yeah.
Yogurt, bit of protein in the yogurt.
Yeah.
You got the fruit, bit of carbohydrates in the fruit, and much, much, much lower in salt and saturated fat. Unbelievable. Honestly, I think that's a massive win.
Thank you.
A massive win.
Yeah.
You said that you wanted to exercise around mindfulness and that you used to do meditation.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I would have always, I suppose, poo-pawed would have think I would have used meditation. I was like, oh, that's daft, it's for hippies and it's ridiculous, and I haven't got, my brain was too busy when I was younger. Now maybe I've got older and slower kind of thing, but I kind of in the last few years was more interested in how the mind worked, the power of your thoughts, all that kind of stuff, and just taking that 10 minutes to kind of see how I'd want life to be, listen to positive things and just breathe.
Okay.
And then I just got out of the habit.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It was as simple as that, really. But
And
that
possibly-
moment made me realise how much I kind of missed it.
Like the biggest challenge for all challengers is how do you integrate this? How does it become not another thing on the to-do list? The more you can integrate the exercise, the more you can integrate, like say, if it's food prep and you're finding that with busy family and stuff, you know, with kids and all that, it's like the batch cooking then frees up time and stuff like that. So it's integrating it is the key.
Yeah, there's
it's
a
early
spot
days.
where I lived when I first came here in Ross Carberry, down the Pier Road, and it's just beautiful. And there's a certain spot there overlooking the water. I find the water very soothing, and calming, even when it's, you know what I mean, even when it's quite rough.
Yeah.
So even as I was thinking there when you were talking, just to leave 5 minutes earlier for the school run and drive down there and just spend that moment. And part of that routine.
See, that I get that, if that works and then you can make it happen, great. But you can always bring that spot with you.
Yes, yeah.
That's my
I can
point.
see it in my head.
You can either take a photograph of it or you can bring it into your mind's eye.
Okay, yeah.
And in your mind's eye, you can sort of what's the feeling when you bring that to your mind's eye? What's the feeling that comes? What do you? If I asked you now to take a moment just to cast down your eyes. So I would just take you just to cast down your eyes, take a moment. Actually, might get you all to just join in on this a little bit. And I want you to take in a space or a place that you would find a safe place, a place that gives you tranquility, a place that gives you peace. Can you identify a place? And I want you to, sometimes that can be a home space with a grandparent or a warm fire. Sometimes it can be in a sea, or sometimes it can be out in nature. But I want you to capture that space and take a nice deep breath in and hold it and let the breath go. And then I want you to put a word now. Find a word that's unique to you and that space that you might want with that. It can be safe or peace or my power or something like that. And now I want you to look into that space, take a nice deep breath in and add that word as you breathe out. And come back into the room. And that's maybe something to practice on a space, okay?
Yeah.
And that's a mindful moment.
That's good, yeah.
And you don't necessarily need, this is how you bring these mindful moments in. and they don't have to be the 10 or 15 minutes. You bring a mindful
And that's
moment
good to know
in.
that you can bring it in as opposed to having to go somewhere to be mindful.
Because
Do
you're
know what I
busy.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I like
Good.
that one. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Sheena, you've had a fascinating first week. I know you struggle with putting yourself first. You have a very busy life with all the house moves, your other half, your 2 children, your sausage dog.
Yeah.
How did you find putting yourself first for
Actually,
once?
great.
Okay.
Really, really good. And I said no a number of times. In fact, I was telling Trish when we met for a walk, I used the words under no circumstances to one person. She was asking me something that was a little bit much, I felt, and I said, I'm so sorry, under no circumstances at the moment.
Wow.
And I felt amazing. And I met Trish not long after that conversation took place. Well, it wasn't a conversation, it was over WhatsApp, but you know, one step at a time. Yeah. And I felt so liberated by, you know, pushing back and saying no.
It's
and
very
putting
empowering.
Myself, yeah.
That sounds very empowering. Not only was it no, it was a very emphatic no.
It was, and I didn't use an excuse, which is my usual one. I can't today because the lads have football or whatever it is. I just said under no circumstances, and it felt wonderful.
You're radiating. Like you can. It's tangible. You can see it.
Yeah, I feel great, I have to say, in every way, physically, mentally, sleeping better. I just feel, and I sent a voice note to the whole group, and I felt a bit bad about it afterwards because I realised not everybody felt as good as me that particular day. I sent like a 2-minute voice note saying, I feel brilliant today, I'm brimming with energy, and then it transpired that not everybody, in fact, I think I hit most people on a bad day. So I felt bad then. Instead of being motivating, I kind of maybe
I found that inspirational.
Yeah, I think that's very inspiring. I hear that and go, even on my bad day, I know that it's inspiring. What really stuck out for me there, what I hear is, and I think it's such a fundamental, you've talked about twice now, is sleep.
Yeah.
Right? Sleep is a fundamental building block to health change.
We're going to have a look at your weight first of all, okay? Today, this morning, 87.8.
Okay.
Fantastic. That's really good. It's 0.9 of a kilo, just over 2 pounds in terms of weight loss after 7 days of being healthy, sleeping better, prioritising yourself, which is brilliant.
Great.
Okay? We're going to have a look at your body fat next. We're going to bring it up on the screen. And your body fat was 39.5%.
Holy
It's quite high. You want to bring it down towards the 35% or lower.
Or the
is really
18
where we're
that
going.
it was when I got married.
18. Well, we'll have a look. Okay, it was this morning, it was 38.3%, which is 1.2% down. That's a huge number now.
Great.
It might seem like a small shift, but it's like a percentage of body fat drop is huge. And that comes from hard work, it comes from change. And we can, we've seen in your week, despite the weather and despite all the challenges that came your way, you worked hard. We're going to have a look at some of the content here.
So, treacherous roads tonight, and can't get to the gym because it's up a hill and it's been closed because the hill is impassable. So I'm going to do
Why am I speaking so slow?
60 climb the stairs. Go!
That's not easy. Is it 60 of them?
Yeah. 60!
Yeah.
60.
Wow. Well,
Is one up and down one?
up and down. Up is one.
Just as well the house is cold, there's no heating. It's 1 degrees outside.
The kids are doing it as well.
Go on, we'll catch up. So we've 3 left.
Yeah.
Fair play.
And done.
Good improvisation, I think.
Fantastic improvisation. Absolutely.
Sneaky training. Sneaky training.
The weather challenged the whole country that week.
Yeah.
And your challenge was, you could have sat on the couch, you had a great reason not to do anything, you improvised.
Yeah. The
And
house
the
was
stairs
so cold
is
as well, I just had to move.
Amazing exercise.
Yeah,
it's
it was
aerobic,
great.
it's muscular, it works everything, it's free, there's nothing it doesn't do. And you did 60 stair climbs. I challenge anyone watching today to do 60 stair climbs and realise just how hard that is.
Yeah, it was tough.
Of course it was.
I did take a little break in the middle. But like
That's
maybe about 60 seconds.
You could have taken 60 breaks. You got 60 of them done. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And
No,
the
I was
second thing
delighted.
from that clip, one is the choice, right? You chose to do it, and it was hard, which is great. The second thing is the family involvement.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, no, they're loving it.
It's but
Every
they're loving it
morning
because
they
you
say,
stepped up
what
to
are
it.
we
You
doing
see.
for the 40-day challenge today?
Yeah,
They're
right.
loving loving it. They're really loving it.
Like that's really important
Yeah.
because it's not just you; it's the family unit.
Yeah.
The other person in your household who gets involved is your husband, of course.
Yeah, long-suffering David.
And that brings us back to your gratitude video.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have every partner in Ireland under pressure after they see what your partner does for you every evening.
Yeah.
Tell us all what he does.
So I have always loved having my feet rubbed. And I remember when I, like literally as a teenager thinking, I'd love to marry someone who loved rubbing my feet.
And we're going to have a look at the video now that you sent through.
David Crean, I am so grateful for you every minute of the day. As we speak, it's 9 o'clock at night. You've been working your ass off all day and you have gone off to do another run to our new house. You just never stop doing stuff for me and the boys, and I love you so much. I can't even put it into words. You have made every single day of the last 14 years that we've been together an absolute joy. I don't have to worry about anything because I always know you have my back. And I just am so grateful for you. You rub my feet every single night. I remember being a kid and thinking, if I ever get married, it'll be to a man who will rub my feet. And thank you for being by my side every day in the last couple of years in particular that have been so difficult. And you've just been an absolute rock. I love you so much.
That's lovely.
That's you too, George. Oh, that's lovely. Keep that forever.
And Eddie, like, that's how important that gratitude homework was, wasn't it? To realise what's around you and really appreciate it.
It resonated, I think, did it?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, even though life has been tricky, I have so much to be grateful for and so much that I am grateful for. And to be even given this opportunity to do this challenge, we're all immensely grateful for, I think.
Absolutely. I actually couldn't agree with Eddie more there when he says that kind of the family kind of group is so tight knitted. Like it's so evident as well, and you're like the role model, yes, but kind of you feed off each other. And you kind of you can see it like when you watch yourselves, right? And you, by making those choices in terms of your food choices and things like that, the little ones can see it as well, and that's going to be so important going forward.
They're still eating chicken nuggets now, mind you.
That's okay. But I think you're actually smashing it. I really do, and I think you're just being realistic about it. I'll try and put myself, my goodness, in your shoes and the stress and all the house moves, everything going on, looking after the kids, this, that and the other going on, and you're still managing to get the 3 meals in, you're still sticking to it roughly or as closely as possible.
Yeah.
You're making like reasonable choices. I see you had the kind of microwave rice because you didn't have the other stuff, absolutely fine in certain circumstances. So it's just showing people we're here. We're not going to aim for perfection. We're going to take it one small step at a time, and that's going to lead us to the kind of long-term health, the longevity down the line.
Yeah.
You know, there's no kind of one quick fix.
Yeah.
So no, I just think you're doing fantastic, honestly.
Oh, thanks, Sophie.
Sheena, you got the first smashing from Sophie.
You did. This is very important.
When you're smashing it, that's
gold standard. Gold standard stuff.
That's gold standard stuff.
In all seriousness, well done. She's had a brilliant first week.
Fantastic.
I
know
just keep cruising, which is
Thanks
brilliant.
a million, guys.
Trish, you look nervous. I haven't even come to you yet, and you've looked petrified since the start. How's the first week been for you?
Yeah, good. The cooking will always be a bit of a challenge because my cooking is all right. It's not great. I know this week I cheated a little bit, but when I went to the restaurant, for example, I made sure that I ate really healthy. Like I had a lot of rabbit food or salad food, and so I am watching what I eat. I'd say the figures are crap, and I don't care. I'm not even looking at them. I'm panicking already.
Shall we have a look at the figures? Okay. Just take a deep breath in. Or I buying column. That's perfectly fine too. Yeah. We were 72.6 in weigh-in 1. 71.3. Now, 1.3 kilos of weight loss.
That's not drinking the wine.
Correct. That's what it really shows us.
It is, not the exercise. Last night, Dave gave out to me, like he really gave out to me last night. He said, you're really going to have to work on the resistance. He said, I'm sick of hearing about your bloody walk. Everyone walks. Where's your resistance training?
How many did you do in the first week?
Resistance training? I'm going to be honest, I did 1 and I did 2 sets.
Okay.
and I struggled with them.
Okay.
And then I didn't video it, and then I had to do it again.
Yep.
And I really struggled that time. Now I'm in bits. And he said, and he had to video me, and he said, stop your moaning. Like, we had to film about 10 times.
Can I just say, you move really well. Like your lunge, your squat, your press up on the table. It's really good.
So what you're trying to say to me is you can do it if you want.
Yeah.
But you can absolutely do it. I'm giving you compliments so that you're going to do more of it.
Yes.
Because you're really good at it. You've got a really good natural ability to move when your positioning is absolutely perfect.
Is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So it's here.
Oh, sure, everything's there.
Yes.
Yeah, I make an
So-
excuse for
Your result,
everything.
Your result in the first week is brilliant. How's your sleep been, by the way?
crap. I'm waking up and I'm sweating again.
So that's something that we can really talk about because sweats will impact sleep.
Yeah.
The other hormone that comes into play is a loss of progesterone. Progesterone is one of our sleep mediating hormones, and if women who take progesterone orally, that really helps their sleep as well.
Okay.
I normally don't go over the top with any kind of additional supplements because I think we should be getting it from our food sources. But what we do know for women that don't take progesterone orally, magnesium supplements can also aid sleep as well.
And should you take them before you go to bed then?
The magnesium supplements?
Yeah.
Yes, you should take them about an hour after you've eaten before bed. So you want your tummy to be fairly empty. So you've eaten and then an hour before bed, there's a certain dosage. The one that works best is one which is a magnesium biglycinate because you've got to remember you've got milk of magnesia on the market as well, and if you take milk of magnesia it will give you the sleep but it will send you to the toilet because it can act on the gut. So the easiest one on the gut is magnesium biglycinate.
Okay.
And this actually, the bit that came up for me was I was in my piece to bring up today was what was your why, okay? What was your why? Because I saw the whys. What was your why for doing this?
And I purposely, I said, I'm going to sit down and say, why am I doing this challenge?
Yeah.
And this is mad.
Yeah.
I still don't know why I'm doing it.
Yeah. And
I wonder, is it the upcoming redundancy, Trish, as well, that you're trying to find another focus because you know one of your main focuses is being phased out?
Yeah, and I said, I'm going to look stupid. I'm the only one.
No, if there isn't a why, you wouldn't be doing it.
you're still on the journey of trying to discover that why. I think you're going to have to do a little bit deep dive into that.
And maybe it's to prove to David,
Yeah.
because he's very competitive.
Yeah.
And people think, like, so I'm thinking, right, I'm going to do something now and I'm going to challenge myself to this and I'm going to do something for me.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
interesting.
maybe that's what it is.
I'm going to, so the why is I'm doing something for me.
Yeah.
And what really, the word of challenge, that really struck out for me. It's my challenge.
Yes.
I have taken, the why is don't normally take. Have you taken on challenges before?
I rang a Kerry about 3 years ago.
Okay, yeah. And was there an empowering feeling after
Oh,
you did
you
that?
know me, and I've stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of it.
Doing why is about doing things for me.
Yeah, because this sounds pathetic, because I never
It's not
really do
pathetic.
anything for me.
But does that sound okay? I never really do anything for me.
No.
So doing things for me is a why. It's a big why, I think, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Do you think that's a big why? I think that's a
But
big
I
why.
sound stupid.
But you're
No. See, that's the absence of a compassionate voice.
Yeah.
You're saying doing things for me, and then you go, that sounds stupid.
Or selfish. I feel, oh my God.
Or
stop.
selfish. That's a harsh, critical, punitive voice in real time. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question then is, you might expand on that. So your homework for me for the week is doing things for me, and then you build that out.
Okay.
What does that look like?
What I
It's
really
vital.
got from you on Wednesday when you were insisting on driving all the way across the city to collect me
Sheena, it's
20
only
kilometres away. But you see,
There you go again.
But exactly. But you were saying to me, but you're so busy and you're doing this and you're collecting.
Yeah, but I don't have it.
But what I felt was you were saying to me that my time was more important than yours. And it's not. Everybody's time is equally important. And I said, look, Trish, I'll get on the dart and it'll be fine and I'll meet you in Raheny. And you were still saying, no, I really want to collect you. And it was like as if you were, I don't know. It was.
And
I thought it was so lovely, and I would love to have sat in a lovely warm Tesla over the dart.
No, but like, okay. Yeah, but you were really busy that day. You were on your fifth.
But so were you,
No,
though.
but I have
but
two
why is
children.
my
Okay,
time
can I
more
just get into
important
that
than
then?
yours?
Sorry, no.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Stretching.
You're actually arguing about
She
your
is,
own
yeah.
time.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Like everyone has to have me time. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah, so
exist without me
I
time.
have it-
I couldn't end the day. Sorry.
Yeah,
Eddie.
you're okay, no.
But you're actually arguing with yourself about how you could be a better person because
Yeah,
you need more me
that's
time.
exactly
And you're
it.
arguing about that. That's mad.
But see, I think your why is why is because I am important
Yeah.
and I am worth it.
I think
These
that's
are your
exactly
You
whys.
don't think
These are your
that's-
whys. No, I get that, but these are what you're building on. If your
struggle with
your hubby is like done marathons and runs and all that, like their sense of achievements, accomplishments, you mightn't feel that you've got that in your world or life.
No.
Okay.
No.
You're all right. Take a deep breath now. You're okay. And putting yourself out there for a 40-day challenge is an achievement, and I think that's my needs are important. I am important.
Yeah.
And that's a why. That's the biggest why. I am important.
That's your mantra, your new mantra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Because if you think about it, I just think, the more I grow into that, I go, if someone says to me, why am I doing the 40-day challenge? Your friend said to you, why am I doing the 40-day challenge? You go, because I am important.
Yeah.
I said you
You like the L'Oreal.
Huh? that is a big why.
Yeah.
That's the biggest of the whys.
Yeah.
Because I am worth it.
Yeah.
I am important.
You're L'Oreal.
Yeah, that's it.
Just stepped out of the
And
salon.
I think that's a woman thing, though.
It is.
Oh, maybe, look, I'm not disregarding the men kind of thing, but, we have to put everyone else beforehand, and you're trying to, perfect daughter, the perfect sister, the perfect wife, the perfect everything.
Yeah.
And you become bottom of the pile. And sometimes, the bottom of the pile, you never get to it. So you have to bring yourself back up because...
because you're worth it.
Because you're worth it.
But the piece really that's come over clear is that you discount yourself.
Yeah.
And by saying no, by not being able to say no, you're provoking yourself and you're discounting yourself. You're proving to others that you are worth less, if that makes sense. You're not worthwhile. If I asked you today, how much do you believe that you're worth it? 0 to 100. Where would you rate that?
20.
Yeah, no, that's my point, yeah? And I'm going to ask you that question in 4 weeks' time.
No.
Okay? As you work, that belief, and that is your why. I'm convinced now that is your why.
I said it to you earlier, didn't I?
But it's so powerful. And I can't wait to see what the
Actually,
rest...
I feel a little bit better already.
Oh, you will?
Yeah,
Absolutely. And we can't wait to see what the rest of the 40-day health challenge is going to bring, because you've had your aha moment, your empowering moment. And thank you so much for sharing it with us. It's really important for us to say, because we're delighted to see it and to watch what's going to happen.
And I will cook more in the kitchen.
Colin, we've heard you on Ireland's Classic Hits Radio with Lucy telling us all about your 40-day health challenge experience. Numbers were a big thing for you. You got a shock with a few of the original numbers.
Yeah.
Are you worried about your numbers today?
Yeah, I got a shock about the age thing because I'm shocked by my age anyway. I just don't feel my age. And then when I see that I am this, that you showed me, I think it was 77 or something. Yeah. Boy, did that shock me. You weight a bit, like we all, let's be honest, but it's a bit of that. And visceral fat, which previously I thought was a heavy metal band in Germany. So I'd never heard of visceral fat. So that sort of shocked me as well, yeah.
And how's your first week been?
I don't know if I took the first week serious enough.
Okay.
So as the week was going on, I started thinking to myself, I'm probably, I need to stop thinking that this is for radio or I'm Colm Hayes. I need to start thinking that this is for me. So and then when I'm here listening to you guys, it's you've really embraced the challenge or found the reason why you need to embrace the challenge. So I think I need to...
And do you think you're still performing in the challenge?
I'm always performing. Yeah. That's probably half my problem. So there is a bit of that, yeah. I mean, I'm always looking at the edits and the filters on the video. No, I am. Yeah. So I need to tone that down a bit, I think. I just need to probably embrace it a bit more.
We're going to have a look at a couple of numbers.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
We have to society.
And after a week of being healthy, 113.1. Brilliant. It's 1.2 kilos. So again, it's over £2 down. What we're seeing, and we're seeing it all in studio today, is that it's sustainable, healthy weight loss and fat loss.
And you can
It's
still have a nice
sustainable. That's the
time.
word we're using, right?
Yeah.
It's perfect. There's one more I want to have a look at because you brought it up there, which is your visceral fat. All right, your visceral fat was 19. It was very high. 7 days in, we've taken your visceral fat down by 1 point already.
That's incredible.
In 7 days. That's massive.
Is it?
Like huge.
Okay.
Oh, huge. We're aiming for 13 as the sweet spot. Okay, so 13 is like the magic number that if you get to 13 or below, you're like super healthy.
Okay.
Then Sophie will give you a smash it, and you know you've done it. But like you've gone down 1 point in 1 week. That's huge.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, huge.
Okay.
5 more weeks
take
potentially, and it'll be a 13 or thereabouts. And it's a really important indicator from Sumi's perspective.
That's such a great target.
We know how important visceral fat is, and that's the beauty of having our smart scales to be able to measure that. You know, but really good stats, and you know you're now coming into the honeymoon phase is kind of over a little bit, and that's where you're going earlier. I think earlier in terms of you're embracing it now. This is where it gets a little bit tougher.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's getting tougher, but I think I'm going to take it more serious.
Okay.
What does that mean, Colin? Because I think for the first week I did see it as a project for radio.
Okay.
You know, I really did. You know, and the beauty of radio is it's smoke and mirrors, and you can hide behind that. So I need to be real now.
We're going to have a look at this video next before we go any further.
I haven't properly, in the last couple of years, taken care of my most treasured possession, which is my mind. So truth be told, amongst everything else that I go on and I laugh and I joke, that's part of what I do, and I do it every day on air. And if diet and giving up booze and getting out and exercising, I know they will all contribute towards that. And it'll make me feel positive about myself. And I think that's something. I think I've lost that. I think I've lost a certain confidence in myself. So I think the 40-day challenge, 40-day health challenge, will make me feel positive again about myself.
Wow.
That's a powerful video, isn't it?
Thank you for sharing that.
We used to do a thing, Eddie. We used to go around the schools on the cycling and suicide. And I used to do this thing where I'd say to the students, I'd go around and ask them what their most treasured possession is. And some of them would say it's my Dublin jersey that was signed, or it's the Harry Potter book. And I'd say, well, it's actually really not, because none of that matters till you take control of your most treasured possession, which is your mind. It is your mind. And it's how we live in there more than we live out here. And even when we live out here, it's from there. It's from that position and that treasured possession. So it's I always like to, you know, for years, talking with Cycling and Suicide, I used to do the phones for Childline as well, is about talking to people about it, taking control of that most treasured possession. And I think in the last couple of years, mine has faltered. It goes back to, we've never spoken about this publicly, but my wife is going to speak about it on a podcast soon. 5 years ago, she was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So that means we never get to have a party where the balloons are blue and we lift them and they all go up in the air and we all go home. We don't. And Anne is in 3rd level of chemo now. She goes to chemo every Monday for 3 weeks and then a Monday off. And across the 5 years, it's 5 years now. So that has had a completely huge, obviously, and how that woman continues, I don't know how she does it. It's you know, I always remember thinking about the ad that the AIB went on about if Brave is, and they've a woman open a coffee shop at 8 o'clock in the morning, and if Brave is, and there's a man milking his cows, and I used to say, well, if Brave is, it's Anne. So I need to get. Sorry, I'm getting quite emotional. So I want.
Okay, take it deeper.
Yeah. So I
in
need
that
to.
video, it's fair to say that we don't see the broadcaster, we don't see the radio presenter, the TV presenter, the voiceover person.
Yeah.
We see Colm.
Yeah. So I
In
need
your
to.
most vulnerable state.
Yeah. So I think when that happens, your life shifts and changes completely. Your priorities change. You know, your future. You think your future is going to change. We have to be careful with that. And we talk about living with cancer as opposed to dying by
like
Yeah,
cancer,
yeah.
and that's really important. And I know there's loads of people out there that have it, but when it's your life partner, it's that's your moment. And I think then over the last couple of years, I didn't possibly. Well, I was dealing with it on the outside really well, and people would say you seem to be dealing with it really, really well, and you're really positive with that, and we're doing this, and we're doing that, and we're going away. Inside, not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know, maybe for a lot of guys whose partner has that, the person, you know, the next person is me. And we're like, it's like a buffer zone to the rest of the world for Anne in some days, you know. While Anne's going through the most horrendous stuff, I'm sort of buffering it then from the kids, from family, from...
Which is exhausting in itself.
Which is exhausting, yeah. And I think possibly buffering it for myself as well.
Yeah.
So I need to. So this challenge has brought that all into play, you know, in my head, that it's important, you know, for me to challenge, to get the nutrition, to get there, to get the benefit of, you know, the mindset.
And I empathise with you because my wife has significant cancer, and that man piece you're talking about, and it takes a while to process it, and then their needs are more important than your needs. That's bottom line.
Yeah.
You know that yourself, and you're trying to sort of push out all the bits around buffering that information. I suppose the question then is around self-care. That for me, that's what, like for me, I reached out to the Irish Cancer Society and the Cancer Support Centre, and for me, because I carry stress in a very physical way, like through tension in the shoulders, stuff like that, I would have gone and they would have done massage and stuff like that with me, because I needed to reach out into that space, you know. And I suppose the question then is, how much are you reaching out for some support for you? How is that happening?
See, I think as well, and again, Eddie, and we you know, I did a little bit of training, and especially doing the child line, and I know the tools in the arbour that are required to help people get past that, and I haven't used them on myself. And in reaching out, I'm not good.
Yeah, you see, this is the bit though, like, the piece really is you have the tools and you know the tools, and they're the internal tools about managing your thoughts or the really dark nights and stuff like that. But the other piece is then, and if you think of the core message in our work around cycle against suicide, it was it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to ask for help. And it's the asking for help bit that really I'm sort of putting out there as a seed for you to say, like, what sort of help do I need to support me to support Anne? That's just a thought. I often say, like, you're dropping in a seed and try and let that settle for a while, because that space is opening up now for you a little bit, you know. And around, I think, self-care, critically important.
No, absolutely,
It's also really worth keeping an eye on your own mood as well, Colm.
I'm very conscious of that.
Yeah, and if, you know, the days are merging into one for you and the mood is just not lifting, then it's worth chatting to your GP around that.
See, I'm in a job where once the red light goes on,
you've no choice.
I have to be.
The show has to go.
It has to. It's you know, and I try to use that during the day as well.
Of course.
You know, when I feel the mood going down, I click the red light on. You know, and I have sort of things I do. You know, when I feel the mood is going, there's things I do. I'm trying to.
Sometimes it can help just having that third space or that another safe space. And I've often said it to patients, and Eddie, I think, no doubt would have said, it's that knock on the door. That's quite often the hardest thing that you can do. Because on the other side of the door, we're actually not that bad.
Folks, well done on your first 7 days of the 40-day health challenge. You can all breathe now, sigh of relief. You can all relax a little bit. Today was very powerful, I think it's fair to say. It was empowering for us in the room. It was empowering for people who are watching all around the world.
No, thank you.
From America, New Zealand, Australia, and everyone in Ireland as well who's following the plan. Today's a really important day because we see the trigger points, we see the review of the week, what's worked and what hasn't worked. And just to say again, on behalf of ourselves, thank you so much for being so honest and for sharing and for all the work that you've done so far.
Thank you,
Folks,
guys.
if you are following the 40-day health challenge, remember you can start at day one at any time on our website, www.40dayhealthchallenge.ie. Jump on the Instagram account or TikTok or our YouTube channel, and you can see all the other content there as well. And check out the results of our next 4 challengers. Jeanette. One thing I do want to chat about, though, is your noisy knees. Amy.
Great granny, my granny and my mum all died of cancer, so I'm next.
Gary. What's going through your head?
I'll tell you what's going to come out of my head. There's going to be tears coming out of my eyes now.
And Martina.
I just got stuck in and I said, this is my time.